say.
Giraffes, indeed. Okay, so when we asked you guys, or the audience generally, of things to do in Nairobi, quite often the Giraffe Centre, the Elephant Orphanage, and various other animal attractions kind of came up. And we're always quite dubious of animal attractions generally, having lived in Thailand and various countries around the world, that places pose as sanctuaries and they pose as charities and things like that, and then they always turn out to, or quite often turn out to be something a little bit more sinister and where animals are actually being abused. So we thought we would take the opportunity to create a slightly different vlog today, where we are going to see all of these different animal attractions, as it were, or charities, or various different organizations, whereby the intention is that of protection for the animals, or breeding programs, or these kind of environmental studies, but actually that they let you interact with the animals, or like here at the Giraffe Centre, feed the animals, and then by the end of the day make a judgment on how we feel about these individual places and using them as a tourist attraction. But yeah, that's the plan today. So we're going to check out, we're here now at the Giraffe Sanctuary, or the Giraffe Centre, Nairobi. After, we're going to Sheldrick Trust, Elephant Orphanage, and then tomorrow morning there's also a small petting zoo here in Karen that we want to check out as well. So stay tuned, and we will give our thoughts at the end of the day as to how we feel about these places. Right? So this is our driver, Simon, by the way. I first used Simon about a month ago, and now back in Nairobi again, we're using him to take us around a lot. So I'm going to put his number in the description down below if you want a driver for your time here in Nairobi. He's very efficient, he's always on time, and he knows the area very well. So feel free to contact him for any driving services that you need. Right, Simon?
Nice, very nice.
Pumpkins. What are they doing?
What, Mummy?
What are they doing?
Having the bar
Are they?
in the dust.
In the dust. Oh, having a bath. Scratching his bum now.
Are you excited to see the baby elephants?
Mm-hmm.
How big do you think they are?
Show me with your hands.
Show Mummy with the hands.
With
How
the
big
hands,
is
how
the
big
baby
is it?
elephant?
This big.
That
This big.
Right, so.
Or maybe that big.
We are now at House of Treasures. Tin Roof Cafe is another cafe that we've been recommended. We failed for about 3 cafes because everything's closed on a Monday, we're realizing. So originally we were supposed to go to Cultiva, but I remembered that last time I was here on a Monday it was closed. Then we were like, okay, so we'll go to Boho Eatery. Found out that's also closed on a Monday. Talisman also closed on a Monday. So Tin Roof Cafe, you're up.
Okay, so they have a cafe, they have shopping, and they also have a kids area. So everybody's happy. So it's going to be a nap time for some of us.
I'm not mad actually.
No, we're going to have a bit of peace and quiet to actually have a conversation, you know. Mala salama. Well, that didn't last very long. We were hoping to have a quiet coffee together, but it's okay. She will instead go and play over there. And the menu here looks incredible, so I'm gonna go for the halloumi wrap, and then we're gonna basically sample some of the desserts. So, what's the verdict?
This place is really cool. Perfect to actually come with kids. They've got an inside play area, like playroom. They've got all this stuff outside, trampoline and all kinds of stuff. So, and the food was decent. It's not like the best food that we've had since we've been in Nairobi, but it was simple. Hit the spot, filled my stomach.
It has a vibe though.
Yeah,
I think that's worth
it's one of those things. Like I find this with a lot of the places. Like what a place may lack in one thing, it makes up for it in another. Like with the surroundings and everything. So it's definitely worth a visit. The coffee was great. Food was okay.
Malia, are you excited?
Now to try for bus. Welcome to a Brandy Bus.
Yes, that's right. We are now at our next and final accommodation for this trip here in Nairobi this time. We are staying at the beautiful Karen Brandy Bus. Now, stay tuned if you want to find out how we get on here and what we're doing here at the Brandy Bus, because we're not going to show it in this vlog, we're going to show it in the next one. So stay tuned for the next vlog. For now, we'll give you a little glimpse of the outside, because we have to keep something secret for the next vlog, you know? There we go. Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to another beautiful day in the Brandy Bus. So we had an awesome night last night. Had some amazing Indian takeaway and a bottle of wine and just relaxed here. And then we got up this morning and had a nice sort of homemade continental style breakfast. And we are now getting to go out for our third installment of the animal attractions in Kenya. So we're going to Adventure Farm, which is a sort of a children's petting zoo, which is here in Karen. See what's going on, and then give our summary of how we feel about all these individual attractions when we get back later. So we'll sit down and have a chat. Yeah, stay tuned. Next up, Adventure Farm. So you're feeding the pigs with the hydroponic grass?
Yes.
Oh, cool. So they have a good diet?
Yes.
Very clean. Wow, look at these guys sleeping. Look.
Wow.
Interesting. So the pigs, I didn't ever realize it was such a short space of time. From conception to birth is 3 months. And then after they've given birth to the litter, 1 month later, they are sent back to the male for more conception. It's pretty intense. Yeah, so like he said, usually they're good for about 15 litters of piglets for one female. Yeah, trying to make sure that everybody gets some by like spreading them out.
The tomato.
Organic bananas. Wow.
So what are you using this one for?
cool.
For the huh?
And we've got some
For
mint
juice
that we're gonna make some tea with.
and a
What's this?
tree tomato.
A tree tomato.
Yeah.
Oh, you use them as vegetables, as like you can eat them as fruit.
Yes.
They're not nice. They're not nice.
I have my free samples. Yeah, interesting. I
You
wasn't.
didn't think it was a proper farm.
So no, I wasn't expecting it to be a proper farm. So I came to it thinking, yeah, it's like a petting zoo type thing. But the reality is, and I guess it's probably better. It's a proper farm. You know, the animals here are reared and slaughtered to sell.
order.
Like that's literally it. They're not here to be an attraction. It's just they're making some extra money by letting people come in and interact with the animals a little bit. But the reality is, like everything here gets used or consumed or whatever. So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting explaining it more to Malia later. I'm a meat eater, but it doesn't shock me to go around a farm necessarily. I understand how farms work. But for her it'll be interesting to explain that, you know, those little baby pigs that she thought were really cute, in 3 months' time they're going to be on somebody's plate. So it was cool. Like, it was interesting. Everything here, they don't use the fruit and vegetables, they don't use any pesticides. The animals are all like grass fed with hydroponic grass and things like that. So it's all very well run. It's a cool place. Just I wasn't expecting it in my head when we were coming to adventure farm for kids, you know.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just do a proper.
Yeah, we'll do a proper
Review
sum up
at the
later
end.
of everything. But yeah,
Right.
okay,
Let's
ready?
go have some mint tea.
A few moments later.
So,
I'd be more concerned about the fact that you got a dead plant next to you.
but this is a
This-
part of the interior.
No, this is dead. Are you done? This is recorded, you know.
Oh, sorry.
We're back. In what time are we now? Back from our 5 nights of adventure. So we need to sum up our animal attractions vlog. So during the vlog, we visited 3 separate attractions that are based around animals. So it's essentially interacting or paying to see animals. Some calling themselves charities, some not. So we need to give our 2 cents on these kinds of things. Just as a recap, we went to the Giraffe Sanctuary, the Sheldrick Foundation Elephant Orphanage, and the Adventure Farm.
The farm.
Adventure
The
Farm.
adventure farm. Adventure is for some, but not others.
Let's start with this. Of the 3,
Yeah.
which is the most responsible of the 3 attractions?
But it depends how you look at it. Responsible. in
Come
what
on,
way.
just.
I don't know. They're not the same thing, though.
They're not the same thing, but-
so you can't compare them.
I will say this: the Adventure Farm, I would say, is
Is the
as
most-
much as if you went to somewhere like this in the UK, you would leave children traumatized.
Yeah, but children don't need to know, I guess.
It's one of those things. I actually think it's quite responsible if you're going to consume meat or anything really. You should understand where it comes from. So when I saw it advertised as, you know, Adventure Farm, and they're very much aimed at getting kids there, I guess in my head I thought it was more of a petting zoo, which doesn't mean that's a good thing, because petting zoos are actually not that responsible. But to our surprise, when we got there, it's a working farm. Everything that is on that farm is reared for slaughter. So
Let's say it's reared for consumption. I feel
Why?
like, I don't know.
No, see, it's reared for slaughter. Let's be honest. And as we're leaving the farm, you can hear the pigs being slaughtered. So it's pretty eye-opening I would say as a European. Like you don't expect to be face on with that kind of reality, particularly when they're putting it towards kids. But I actually think it's great. The animals are all well looked after, and I personally think that if you are a meat eater, you should be comfortable with understanding where meat comes from. Malia doesn't actually eat meat, and we've always given her the choice. The rule is that she can eat whatever she wants as long as she understands what it is and where it came from, right?
Yeah.
So as a 3-year-old, it was hard. It wasn't really that easy for her to understand what was going on there, and we didn't want to traumatize the poor girl. So we just kind of mentioned that, you know, these are going to be meat, and we just left it at that.
But as a farm in itself, it's they're aimed at growing everything organically. So
No pesticides,
also
anything
the
like
thing
that.
that I quite liked about it is the fact that the animal is only slaughtered when there's an order. For me, that's in a slightly slow-paced, more.
Well, yeah, it's not mass farming. It's all the animals are reared, and they're grass-fed, hydroponic grass. It's all, you know,
But yeah.
above board, and it's a cool place.
They use the milk for ice creams, and they just basically try and use everything they grow to produce whatever products they can sell.
Yeah. However, if you don't want your kids to go and stroke little baby pigs and then get told that pig is going to be food in the next 3 months, maybe it's not for you. But yeah, it was interesting nonetheless. It was a cool place. There's a good playground afterwards and a zip line. Actually, as far as it being exactly what it says on the tin, it's kind of a thumbs up, I think, in that respect. Cool. Now the other two, which the lines become a little bit more blurred when someone calls themselves a charity or a foundation. It comes with certain other responsibilities. So really, the one that I had the hardest time with was the Giraffe Center. It did mean that I wanted to go there and ask some questions. So essentially, you can go in and you interact with the giraffes, you can feed the giraffes, and they have, you know, hundreds of people a day potentially going in there and feeding these giraffes these little pellets, which is the part that I found difficult to understand how that is responsible. Yeah, the idea of the Giraffe Center is it's a breeding program to help breed, I believe it's the Rothschild giraffe that they're breeding there, and they breed them and reintroduce them back into the wild to help try to boost the numbers. That is a legitimate thing. They absolutely are doing that. And I spoke to one of the guides there about the whole feeding thing, and he explained to me that the average giraffe requires anywhere from around 35 to 60 kilos of food per day. And the giraffes that are there, they're only allowing them to have up to 10 kilos per day from these pellets. The rest all has to come from natural sources, from the trees around, and they have to forage for themselves in order to get it. As for the interaction side of things and being able to physically, you know, all day interact with these giraffes, again, apparently giraffes are extremely social animals. They don't require to be, it's very easy basically to reintroduce them back into the wild. You literally, as long as there's another group of giraffes, you can just plonk a random giraffe in the group, and it will just be like best mates with all these giraffes, as long as it's not like a competing
They
bull.
seem like easygoing animals to
I think
me.
they're pretty chill from the
love
sounds
giraffes.
of it. I mean, I can only go off of what the guide was saying. At the end of the day, you can always find a problem with something when it comes to animal attractions, but the reality is these foundations and charities have to be funded somehow. They have to get money, and you're not going to get money from hiding away and not letting anybody see what you do or interact with these animals. So I think with the giraffes, I don't know. Based on what they said, I think it's okay.
But I think it ultimately is down to the person to make that judgment. You need to do your own research.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
if it, you know, if it's okay with you, then obviously you go. In Kenya, these are clear. Obviously, the first two, the giraffes and the elephants, they're a huge touristic attraction. Just, you know, anybody really, kids, older people, you know, like everyone in between. But if you feel like it doesn't resonate with you, then obviously that's up to the individual.
For sure.
For us, we wanted to go there, we wanted to ask the questions, we got the answers, and we're pretty happy with the answers, I think, and that's that. And I think the kids will have a great day. Like, Malia enjoyed all 3 of them. They were very different. I quite liked the elephants. It was very informative. It was about an hour of actually like just pure information, and luckily the baby elephants keep you entertained the whole time, and keep the kids entertained as well. So it was overall very cool to experience all 3.
Yeah, and again with Sheldrick, with the elephants, they bring the baby elephants into like a roped off area. You're allowed to stand and observe. You're not allowed to feed them, and you are only allowed to touch them if they come over to you, because they do like a bit of affection, and why not? But yeah, and again, they are all reintroduced into the wild through various different stages of their program.
Or some not. Was there one of them?
No, one
is struggling.
One was released. She was released back into the wild, and after they're released, they continue to monitor them for years. And basically, I think she was 11 years old or 9 years old. They noticed progressively every time they saw her, she was losing a lot of weight. So they brought her back in, even though usually they only rear them up to, I think, 3 or 5 years old. Yeah. They noticed that she was struggling, so they brought her back in. They found that she has a liver problem, so they're giving her treatment, getting her back to her health, and then sending her out again. So again, the work that they're doing at Sheldrick is amazing, in my opinion. That's work that I know happens, and I see it. And both Sheldrick and the giraffes, I can say that there wasn't ever a feeling that an animal is being mistreated. The only argument can ever come as to whether you should be allowed to interact with these animals. But then how are these places ever going to fund their programs just through putting up posters or, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, all 3 personally, I would say I recommend. Please make your own choices. If also anybody has any information contrary to what we've just said, because this is just based on us going there and giving our opinion. We're not animal experts, but yeah, please do feel free to comment down below or even get in touch with us.
And in terms of getting to these places, with the elephants, you have to pre-book your spot in advance. You can't just show up on the gate, they will not let you in. With the giraffes, you can
just
show up and get your ticket there. So it's $15, right?
1,500 shillings.
Sorry, 1,500 shillings per person, and
for foreigners.
And for the farm, how much?
Farm was $1,000 per person. 1,000, and then 1,000 shillings per person. 500 for Malia. And again, if you want to do the guided tour, you do have to book in advance a little time slot for your private tour.
So just always look in advance. But this is it from us today. It is late, and this vlog is going to end up super long otherwise. We hope you enjoyed it, and as usual,
if you did, give it a thumbs up, drop the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel. We're tired, we're going to bed. Good night, and we'll see you on the next vlog.
Bye guys.